Post-Civil War years in America were rife with legendary outlaws, badass lawmen, and a whole lot of alcohol-fueled mayhem between them. In other words, a great setting for a shooter. Call of Juarez Gunslinger cashes in on a romantic relationship with the Wild West, and puts us in the boots of intriguingly dishonest bounty hunter Silas Greaves for a short but heated first-person exchange of lead. Gunslinger's cel-shaded graphics are pretty, something you'll notice right off the bat. They make the adventure's various environments, from Old West towns to desert wilderness to swampland, really pop, and give the game a unique look. Its comic-like cutscenes advance the story well enough too. They quickly advance the plot and allow the players to jump around from one stage to the next seamlessly, but much of the exposition comes by way of in-action narration from Greaves and some of his friends at a local saloon. See, Greaves is regaling these folks with tales of his exploits, which, like Billy the Kid's rap sheet, are wildly and colorfully exaggerated. That common ego-boosting technique turns into a great gameplay mechanic, because when Greaves is caught in a lie, that affects the level you're playing as you act out his story.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
Sometimes enemy numbers can fluctuate, paths through stages change, and entire missions can be replayed as the record is set at least mostly straight. It's an extremely clever and unpredictable approach to the Wild West, even if it's still admittedly easily outdone by the likes of Red Dead Redemption. Gunslinger also totes exceptional voice acting with many parts played wonderfully. Greaves himself is especially convincingly acted. There's something undeniably endearing about the way he speaks.
Yeah, after I came to, the bastard had clocked me with his Colt.
Unfortunately, those characters' voices are silenced for far too long by unforgivably long load times, even when running off the hard drive. You can also expect your console to lock up every now and then, an unfortunate happenstance I ran into a couple of times through the 5 to 7 hour campaign. For the most part, Gunslinger's gameplay lives up to its name. Its gunplay is smooth and satisfying, and its score-driven arcadey slant means it's not necessarily trying to go up against the likes of Call of Duty or Battlefield. It's doing its own refreshing thing and never takes itself too seriously. Enemy AI is intelligent enough to keep shootouts interesting, but leveling up through the trio of well-executed skill trees is where the depth comes from. Scoring headshots and building up lethal momentum earns XP quicker, especially when you have skills that allow you to reload your weapons quicker, hold more ammunition, and achieve quicker score multipliers. However, Gunslinger majorly misfires with its random and frustrating dueling mechanic. It doesn't seem to work consistently or play by its own rules, and it simply isn't fun. You can literally do the same series of steps in a duel and win once, and then lose the next time. Regardless of dueling's place in previous Juarez games, why developer Techland would choose to base one of its 2 alternate modes on this mess is confounding, because that mode is a total waste of time. Fortunately, the other mode, Arcade Mode, is your best bet for making Gunslinger fun to play through multiple times to drive up high scores. Considering there's no multiplayer for this lone gunman, I'm glad it's there to keep the bullets flying a little bit longer. When the dust has settled, the good in Call of Juarez Gunslinger outguns the bad and the ugly. It only costs $15, and it's a great way to spend a weekend on your gaming machine of choice. It doesn't have long legs by any stretch of the imagination. You could easily see and do everything in the entire package in about 10 hours total. But those hours are packed with a clever story, great voice acting, cool leveling, and yes, that god-awful dueling. But if someone tells you it's not worth playing, they might be telling you a tall tale. For more on all things video games, keep it tuned to IGN.